Hello, how you doing? I'm going to show you the main three things that I've been showing all the other students in this class. But if we run stuck on anything, just send me an email and I'm happy to help. That's my job and I love doing it. So the first thing, we'll do like an open search, an advanced search on Google, looking for opinions, pro and cons, and things like that. So because some of the people in the class that I've worked with so far, it was kind of tough finding the pros or sometimes finding the cons and that sort of a thing. Second thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to take that and go into the library catalog and start to discover where major fields are working on it. And I think with yours, with AI and education, obviously it's going to be technology and education, but there might be public policy and there might be other things mixed in there. And then lastly, from that one, we'll be able to go into applied disciplinary databases. And this shouldn't take too long. So, first place, Google. Google, there's a billion things out there, right? So 7 billion, how many is there? Oh, today there's only 6 billion. That shouldn't take too long to go through. When you do a search, you can search for artificial intelligence, or you could search for education, or you could public policy, and you could throw those keywords around, but you can direct the search by putting in the keywords of your main topic and then putting a colon, and then you could put in words like debate or pro and con or argument. And what this is going to do is for Google and advanced search, you can have your context be any set of keywords, and then what you put after the colon will only search in the context of those things that rank really high in the algorithm. This is something that you can use to narrow down. So, and none of these, well, some of these are scholarly, but most of them are going to be like newspapers or debate teams or things like that. So, or people speculating on what it's going to be like. Maybe they're defending it, maybe they're talking about issues, but this is a good way to go. So you could do argument, and everyone is going to be slightly different because you're just playing with the algorithm here. There's ethical problems and solutions. There's other countries and things like that. So that's the first thing. I think for this topic, it's pretty straightforward. Or is it? I'm not sure. We could look at the sustainability of it. So economically, it's viable. Socially, it's kind of like, we don't quite know. And the last one is environmental. This would probably be nice environmentally because you wouldn't need as many people working together. But then for the social, are we missing out on like relationships? At any rate, next step, library catalog. Let's go to the advanced catalog search. Think of the catalog as kind of like a convenience store where it has a little sampling of all the disciplines on campus, but it's far from comprehensive. So if you searched, it wouldn't be like Google where it searches everything. It's only some of the stuff. So that's what the disciplinary databases are for. But let's put in artificial intelligence. Oh, I've already done so. Hooray. When you are putting something in a database or the catalog and you have two or more words that you want to stay together wherever they're searched for, you have to put quotes around them. Otherwise, it might look for artificial and intelligence here and it gets messy. And for this one, I want it to be in the title because I did this search before. Well, let me show you. Let's do artificial intelligence in education. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Are there alternate words for education? This is a question I've got for you. So maybe teaching or curriculum or pedagogy is a fancy word for like your style of teaching. Could it be any one of those? Maybe. She can put those or statements. So we have one concept and we have another concept. First, it's going to search for artificial intelligence, then return everything back And then out of those search results, it's going to look for our second concept. And you could add concept after concept. Yeah, so there's like too many, 257,000 results. How do we narrow that down? Because some of them might be on topic and some of them might not be. Like this one looks like it's all about AI, but maybe not about education. So what we can do is we can say, I want it to be one of the main subjects, or I want it to be in the title. Let's go in the subject. Any field subject, which means that the author or authors of each of these items wants it to be one of the primary ideas, not just kind of something that gets thrown in there. So we'll go from 257,000 down to 14,000. If we went into the title, we could narrow it down even further where it's not one of the important things. Oh, sorry, I'll have to wait for another time. So if we go to title, now instead of being one of the most important things, if it's in the title, it's the most important thing. And it has to have those two elements. So then we go from 14,000 down to, I'm hoping 3,000. That's much more sustainable. This sounds like opinion. Humans need not apply. And that's a book. Okay, how do we narrow down even further? I mean, you could cruise through 3,000, but that's a lot. How do we narrow down even further? AI has come a long way, and it's constantly being developed, so we probably don't want stuff that's too old. 1976. I mean, if you wanted to do historical stuff, that's one thing, but let's come up to, I don't know, what's happened in the last 2 years. With COVID and online education, everything has been kind of thought about over and over again. And with Zoom, for example, as I do this over YouTube, a lot has been lost. That social aspect is kind of missing. So they've rethought it, rethunk it. So let's come up to the last 2 years. What happens then? Still, there's 1,352. So do you see how you can narrow down stuff? So, oh my gosh, look at that. There's politics and ideology of artificial intelligence. That's pretty cool. By the way, if you want to get to just peer-reviewed journals, you can just narrow down. We don't always want to do that because we're gathering ideas of things that have been licensed in the library. But now we just have 488 down there. So there's a lot of things that we've narrowed it down to. Your job now would be to go through these and look for ones that sounded interesting to you and see if it was relevant to what you wanted to say. Each one will probably be pretty tightly focused. In scholarship, they often take like a methodology and a population, and then they analyze that very closely. So there might not be a lot of articles that do a big picture, but it might be like here's talking about student subjectification, business curriculum, chemical education, all sorts of different things. One thing I would like to look at, though, is the subjects. So remember how we search through the subjects? These are the other subjects that show up in these 488 articles. And we can see education is one. So I'm looking for major fields of study. Education. Computer science is another. And this will help me break it down into, machine learning. I didn't think about that one. Ooh, social sciences. Learning, education, college, university, teacher, engineering. Okay. For these articles, if you find anything in here that looks good, you should be able to find like quite a few. All you would have to do is click on one. There's full text available, or you could click on this to get more information. If you find one that looks good, I like the hybrid idea. So it's kind of part hybrid, part real person, part AI, or here we have a educational robot. There's a citation generator. You can click on full text available, and it should send you to a list of databases where that article shows up. You can click on one of those and get into the article. But let's go into a database. What is that all about? Once we've got some disciplinary focus, we can go into a specific discipline and search just in computer science, for example. How do we do that? There's library databases. This is where the instructors, professors, researchers, clinicians, this is where they typically go. Sometimes they have a favorite database that they know by name, and sometimes they go in by subject. So computer science seems to be a big one. Let's go into that. So whoever the librarian is for computer science will pick their favorite database to go at the top. And I never would have guessed IEEE Explore. So I'm glad that the computer science librarian did that. And now we can do our same search again. Oh, do I have to do this again? I thought I already did that. Pausing. I hope you skipped this part. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Advancing technology for humanity. Well, that's interesting. So let's go to advanced search. Even though this looks like a website, it is, every database has like a different interface. And this is a wrapper around scholarly articles in computer electrical engineering, maybe? Oh, I will accept your cookies grudgingly. Okay, so I'm going to do my artificial intelligence. And I could do or machine learning. But then I'm going to do my same search in the next one. Education or learning or teaching or curriculum. Curriculum. Spelling counts or pedagogy. So synonyms, related terms, you can throw those in there. And I want this to be in the subject again. And so, oh, you know what? Let's have it be in the abstract. So the abstract is that brief paragraph that describes what the entire article is about. Da-da-da, where's my search? Oh, there it is. Ooh, look at that. I can narrow down my keywords or the date range. So let's go up to, I don't know, 2019. Let's avoid the stuff from 1947. Da-na-na. Now there's only computer science, there's only scholarly works. Oh my gosh, there's still 6,000 in there. Yikes. Oh, look at that. Some of them are conferences, some of them are journals, some are magazines. Magazine is fun and easy to read. Journals are the more serious applied stuff. So let's just do journals. Cool. So there's a lot going on in conferences. What's a conference about? That's where if somebody has an idea but they haven't quite tested it, they go and present on it and get feedback from peers. And now we're down to 1,043. Teaching machine learn. Oh, teaching it in the classroom. That's cool. So here's some that you have to go through. And again, you can go by. Oh, we don't have keywords in this one. Okay, every database is different. So this is one way to go. Oh, look at that. Cited by 3. Can we sort by number of times cited? We can. Check that out. If we know what the most cited article is, it's the most important article on that topic. What a cool feature that is. So this one has been cited 516 times since 2019. This is a big deal. If I don't understand taxonomy, which I'm not quite sure I do, I'll move on to the next one. But these are in order of the most impactful articles. So you know you've got a good thing going. Okay, I'm going to let you do that one. Let me show you another database. Or I'll talk about 2 more, and I'll let you go into those. But I won't do the searches again. So 2 more that I recommend. One, if you go to education, there's a database called Education Full Text. This one is going to be from the perspective of the people making policy, who are currently administering or teaching, or looking at education theory, how people learn. This would be a great place to go. So first one was computer engineering. This one is now from the educator's perspective. And you're going to find differences and maybe some agreements. Another one, which doesn't have a major subject heading, is under the letter P, and it's the database called PAIS. This one is scholarship of public policy, laws, and when something is enacted in a city or a country around the world, people will write about it, analyze it, and they'll look at it through the critical lens of specific paradigms of thinking. So, is it economically efficient? Did it leave people behind? Did it fit with the culture? And was it cheap? Did it save money for education, which is expensive? So, let me know how it goes. This is your complete lesson, but dig around, and I'm with you for the long haul. I'm the librarian for communication, and I'm happy to help further. So, thanks for watching.